Hi guys, so 2021, I've been asked about this so many times in December that we obviously need to speak about what's expected for 2021. I think the first thing that comes to my mind is 30%. I think this will be our target. And why would we have less than this year? Well, because we've capitalized on what happened since March. There has been a lot of money injected into the system. In my opinion, it was the easiest year ever for investments. And so is this achievable to make about 100% or even 40%, if you will, every year? I don't think so. So I think 40% next year would be absolutely amazing, but we would be happy with 25. And we are targeting about 30 with a risk score of, I hope, 3 actually. We're comfortably sitting at a risk 4 now. There may be moves that will move the risk to 4.5. So if you see 5 as a max risk, don't panic. It means I see a lot of opportunities like Transenterix now and a few other. But I think we are targeting 30% with a risk score of 3. That would be great. So that's, can you calculate your investments based on that? Probably not. It's not a guarantee. And the reason I say about 20-30% a year usually is just based on the best asset and hedge fund managers in the world that they've been generating around that. So I think it would be very arrogant for me to say I expect more, and I think it's unrealistic for people who expect more. I would not, I repeat, not invest in Bitcoin or Tesla just to inflate those numbers unless my analysis says otherwise, but I'm rather a short seller of both. So if we find another NEO, that would be wonderful. That's actually something that I would like to do next year. So I would like to find a next NEO, let's say, that I was pitched by some of you at 7. So we went 7 times more almost now. And I was looking at that, and then at that time there was a lot of debt and no help. Then the Chinese government helped. But we could have maybe put 0.75% of the portfolio in NEO and just see if it grows. That's something that I would like to improve for 2021. So I'm actually targeting 5 companies at around 0.75%. Okay, so that would make what, 3.75% of the portfolio. I think we can do it. This will be consistent with my risk asymmetric approach to risk. So it's basically put, if we believe that one goes from 10 to 50, then the other 4 can bankrupt, and we are still at the same level, right? So we're just trying to find the next NEO, and obviously this other companies probably not bankrupt, probably have a decent growth anyway. But I think we would like to. It's difficult to start the year with 5 of them. I think it's again unrealistic, but I am actively looking. So please pitch in that video. Please pitch me stocks that you think have the potential to become next NEO. Let's put it simplistically this way. But that's what I would like to invest. So I think that would be improvement to our portfolio that's very focused on value investing. So we're just buying undervalued companies, and if we buy 40 of them, obviously they start popping. Like we had AMS in Zurich popping, and then we had the whole UK popping, and Aston Martin popping. And so I found that if I just focus on one company, it's very difficult for me to time it perfectly so it pops just before. I'm not a swing trader. I'm a value investor. So if we have 40 of them, well, guess what? The portfolio does the magic. So that's the 2021. Obviously, I will try to push towards 40. I will be happy at 30. I will be okay at 23. Below 23, I will not be that happy. But again, look at saving accounts rate and other things. So if you make 10, it's still going to be an okay year. That's 1% a month. And if you accumulate, that's very, very important. We don't want to lose money. It's very, very simple. Let's say you make 100%, right? So you, in 2020, so you went from 10 grams to 20 grand. Well, if you are minus 50% in 2021, you're back at 100. So even though you may feel you're 50% up, you're not, because you're at exactly the same level. So rule number one, never lose money. And then we are strongly following that rule. So we would prefer to be underperforming top investors in a particular year, but outperform them on a 3-year basis. I think that's when it's going to be interesting for us. I think we are actually going to be among the best in the world on a risk-adjusted return after March. So after our Porsche drawdown will vanish, then we will be probably sitting about 70-80% with risk-free or 4, and that's when I expect a lot of interest for our portfolio. And obviously I'm building that interest already. We're almost at $1 million assets under management, so hopefully we get to 30 ASAP, but I think in March we will really become much more popular. And obviously we're going into Elite, so there'll be webinars with me. There's going to be some interesting things coming up. I am building a team, so that's relevant for 2021. At the moment, I've already hired 2 finance professionals. So finance professionals, they are still students, but they are both investors, and they come from families that they you've invested the money for the family or whatever. And they are incredibly sharp, and they're actually grateful to be working for me, which is quite funny. Because that's really kind of US culture. They like to push, and they feel a privilege to be working with me, which is an honor for me because they're just so smart, and so they'll be helping a lot. I just received a message that my previous student who made an amazing job with social media needs some help. She had a surgery, so actually bring her back on board, so probably our social media channels will skyrocket. And then the rest of the team is really very international, and they usually don't formally work for me. A lot of you here on eToro have been helping. Maybe you have similar portfolio, you're a value investor, and you've been calling me to pitch ideas or just brainstorm what we have together. It's been wonderful. Many of you become very close friends. We are scheduling some interesting trips for 2021, hopefully. With some of you as well, so I kind of consider you part of the team, and I like to bounce off ideas with you, and please make the most of them on eToro. And if we are communicating maybe on LinkedIn or you call me, obviously if I can pick up, I do so. But eToro is obviously the main channel for all of that. I am bullish on India. We have a big India exposure. I have a CFO of a golf business as a copier on eToro here, so thank you for being part of the team. I hope they grow even bigger with us, and they have some ambition to move where we live now and also create a new company. So if that happens, I will help these people pro bono, and I have a yogi master that stretches me on my yoga mat regularly as well. He's my ex-colleague. He was a part of my core team where I had a team of 2,500 high potential working globally on a very exciting project. So you can imagine his work ethic. Even though he's a yogi, he's becoming a famous one. So if you need yoga, contact me, so I link you up with him. And what's great about him as well is that he kind of puts a lot of peace and balance in my life, but he also has his eyes and ears open in India, so I then bounce off the ideas with him, and I'm very bullish on India in general, but if I hear the country is maybe not the best place to invest, I will maybe reduce the exposure. Otherwise, we're actually interested in growing it. Transenterix hopefully will be stock of the year. Hopefully we'll go at least to $2, so that would be 4x from now. Aston Martin with Formula One, hopefully we get at least double. And then Peloton we'll watch. It's getting expensive, but I like the company a lot. And I'm pretty sure that Kia will pop, and we'll be looking for new news. So yeah, if we make 30%, it's great, but obviously let's try to outperform. So all the best, guys, and see you in 2021.